Good afternoon. I'm Melissa Hill, and today I will be presenting to you behavior management techniques that work. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. A little about me. I have worked in inner city school district in Kansas City, Missouri for 6 years. It is one of the more difficult schools to work at behaviorally. We work with a large amount of students that have experienced trauma. And so some of our behavior stems from that. And here are some proven ways that have led me to be successful in the classroom when it comes to behavior management. I have a master's degree in elementary education, and I'm currently working on my doctorate in educational leadership. Safety. Who's in charge? What I will sometimes tell my students is you're the boss, applesauce. So they have to know that you are in charge, and it gives them the safety and the security that they need to move on with their day. Even if they show opposition to your being in charge, they have to know that for their own safety's sake. And it will give a sense of calming to the classroom. So it's not that you need to feel so superior to them or that you're having a dictatorship. It's that we have someone here who is in charge, who makes us feel safe. Create the space. When you are designing your classroom, you need to think about the lighting. It shouldn't be jarring or too bright. The smell, I often will use a wax warmer to have lavender or just a fresh cotton, nothing too opposing. And you want to make sure that if you have asthmatic children, that it will be something that wouldn't affect their asthma. Visual aesthetics. There shouldn't be things on the wall unnecessarily. If you're going to use it to teach and it's purposeful, then it should be there. But if it serves a purpose for only you and for entertainment and for you to have the cute things on your wall, then it probably should not be there. You want your room to be free of clutter and excess materials, as for some students that will bring about stress in the energy of the room. Set the rules and stick to them. Every rule that you have, you'll create with your students and you'll go over them at the beginning of the year, but you want to stick to them explicitly. The more gray lines, the more confusing it is. So if our rule is that we're not going to touch our classmate, it can be the smallest finger touch, and that is going to be off limits. And sometimes you will be an actor and you will say, oh no, we are not going to touch. And you'll make it very clear. And they're like, oh, I just did this. But if you don't make it clear, then it's really hard to enforce those rules going forward. Routines and procedures. I have a procedure where I greet all of my students at the front door. It changes the gears in their head that, oh, now we're in school. Now there's a sense of order. I'm not just going to run into the classroom and do and throw my things about. I'm going to greet the teacher, and it teaches them how to say hello in a professional setting. And I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to put my things away. I'm going to go to my desk. So we do that every day. And you just keep those procedures every day. I recommend a procedure being a class meeting. Some course of the day, it doesn't always have to be at the beginning, but there should be a class meeting with the symbolism unity within the classroom as well. Keep your cool. You are the best example of how students are to act in adversity. So they are going to look at you on how to act when things get stressful. So if you have a cool demeanor, they're going to understand that you can face hard times or face challenges and still remain calm. So you are their best example of how to handle things. Be well prepared and flexible. Have a plan. If you are well prepared in your lessons and you've practiced them and you have a backup lesson if technology goes wrong, then you won't have that downtime. I love the little face on this kiddo in the picture because he's like, like what can I get into next? And if you don't have a plan in place, that's what's going to happen. So let's say my technology isn't working, guess what? And even if I don't have a plan, I'm going to act like I have a plan. So we're going to read a book about this and then we're going to answer questions. And they don't know that something went wrong. So again, it's that safety piece and it's you in charge and it's how you handled yourself in a conflict or in a situation that didn't go as planned. Be engaging. Our students especially have to be engaged. So they are used to their iPads and they are used to videos and they are used to things going very fast. You have to stick to your curriculum, and I understand that, but there has been almost no curriculum that I haven't taken and enhanced. So I've added videos and I've added interactive responses and I've added motion. You look at the curriculum you have and you make it better and you make it engaging, and that's going to help them learn. It's going to help with your behavior. And honestly, you're going to have more fun teaching it. Close proximity. If I have a student that is doing something that I don't want them to do, I can stand next to them. I can record my lessons similar to this setting so that I'm not always standing in front of the class. Now I'm able to walk around to different spots within the classroom. In the hallways, I don't want to be at the front all the time. So I'm going to have a strong leader, and then I'm going to be standing where my students are passing so that I can see what the middle of my line is doing and the back of my line is doing. I'm going to use technology as much as I can. You can have a doorbell that dings. That means everybody freezes. I don't have to be everywhere within the classroom, and your procedures are going to help a lot with that as well. Practice makes perfect. You are the teacher of all things. So I really don't like when teachers say, I'm not here to teach behavior. I'm here to teach math or reading. That's so not the case. That's so not true. We are absolutely there to teach behavior and anything else that our students need that we can provide within the classroom day or the school day. So I tell my students, you're showing me that you don't know the expectation for the hallway. So my job as your teacher is to show you or for us to practice so that you know. Sometimes that's putting the ownership back on them. And also it's part of our job. If I can't teach them how to properly behave in a school setting, we're not going to get a lot of learning done. So that's the priority, and then the learning gets done. That has to be done first. Positive praise that matters. Be specific in your praise. Positive praise goes a long way. So if I'm going to tell Johnny he did a good job, that doesn't tell him what he did. So Johnny, I really like the way that you cleaned up without my asking you. That shows that you're a responsible citizen. Or giving them ownership. That's trying to install intrinsic desire to do the right thing. Susie, I bet you are so proud of yourself that you worked so hard on your reading goal this month. I didn't say I was so proud. I said, I bet you're so proud. So now that she can get that feeling of proud within herself, she's not performing for me anymore. She knows that if she does well, she can get that feeling within herself. And make it genuine. Kids know whenever we are not sincere, they know better than anyone else. They pick that up right away. So be genuine in the positive praise that you give them. Love what you do or go home. That sounds kind of harsh, but I really mean that. Kids know when you care. Relationships are everything. Kids understand when someone is there for them and when someone is there for themselves. So when you take the time to get to know them, when you talk to them in a kind way, when you show forgiveness in each day, They know and respect that, and that is a huge, huge part of the behavior that you're going to get from them. They know when we give up on them. They know when we've labeled them, and they'll pick up on it. They won't want to try anymore. So a huge part of a relationship with our students makes all the difference in behavior. I want to thank you for your time. I accept any questions or comments, and I hope that you can take something from the slides and from these tips and put them into effect in your classroom. Have a wonderful school year. Thank you.